Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Alpha Type Podcast. I'm your host, Git, joined by my co host, EJR. What's up today, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Good to see you.
Busy, hectic
Always. We got a
as
nice
usual.
conversation today with Blastum, project that's been trying to go live. Had a little bit of FUD storm around it and regrouping, and we're going to find out what's going on behind this project. So tell us what you know about Blastum and why you think this is a good conversation today.
Oh, this project's incredible, actually. It's got a tremendous amount of hype built around it. My inner circle's very excited about it. I've been speaking to the founder a lot. I don't know exactly what happened. Apparently, they were supposed to be working with Abstract, and then it didn't go well, and there was some drama over it. And instead of that, collapsing the project, the founder is a really driven guy, and I think a lot of people in the space have admiration for him because, although at first I think he was very upset by it, but he took that and made it fuel and just went full force. Meanwhile, he had other chains, giving him all the support in the world to launch, but that would have messed up his pre-salers because a lot of the people that did the pre-sale did not ask for those funds back. They wanted to stay in the pre-sale. So he had to launch on Abstract, and he still wants to be successful on Abstract. Plus, he ended up doing something which is really nice, which is giving a bonus to the people who didn't ask for a refund. So there's just been so much going on, and I think there's even going to be a playtest which I'm helping him organize right now with a bunch of big people in the space. Um, the videos of the game are awesome. I mean, this is one of the best looking things to be out so far. We saw what happened with the Penguin Gotchi thing not even lasting 14
Yeah.
hours before it fizzled out. Other projects, there was the Spy one that was supposed to come out. They were trying to raise like 2.5 million or something like that. They didn't even come close, so now they're not going to
It's a
launch
big
for a
raise.
while.
Yeah.
This project, they are kicking ass. They're really good. They have a great collab manager. They did right by the fans, the people supporting the project, and that's always one of the most important things. They took it as fuel to keep on building. Everything looks phenomenal. And the last that I spoke to the founder, they were waiting for the audit to come back. So they did the official audit, and then I think we're going to get a play test and then an announcement for a launch date. So there's a lot of people very excited about this, and I am one of them. I become more and more excited the more I speak to him and his team, and I back them fully on this because I think it's an interesting story in the space where normally people might have given up or went to another chain, and instead he just used it as fuel, and it's very admirable. So
All right, very nice. Well, let's bring him on, meet Aladdin. We're gonna hear all about it.
Hello
Aladdin,
everyone.
welcome to the show.
Hello EG. Thank you very much. Hello EGR. Hello
good.
Git. Thank you for having me, guys. I'm
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
pleased to be
Excited to
here
learn more.
on the Alpha Type podcast. I mean, I would like to thank EGR for the immense support he's shown me. He's been very supportive and he's quite have done a lot of work behind the scenes to try and help us and get us help us push forward.
Yeah, right on. I mean, you definitely need some help anytime you're launching something. So good to find someone to do that for you. What I'd like to do is back us up all the way kind of the beginning of your journey here, and just kind of talk about what is this idea? Like, what are you building? Where did the idea come from? Give us a little bit of background on the project.
Okay, so let me just speak a little bit about myself. So I've been in crypto since 2016. I've traded perps. I've been a trencher. I've played crypto games. I've had gaming guilds on Axie. I have done a lot of things in crypto, and it's basically why I breathe in daily. That's what I do. It's just crypto. My entire focus is crypto, Web3, whatever you want to call it. Well, and the idea for starting Blastem was I was looking at the actual games, like this was 7 months ago, and I was looking at the games that were launching at that time, and they were not. I'm not talking bad about them, but there was nothing really special about them. Not visually, but the way the economies were done were kind of like so people would go ahead, they would raise an NFT sale, and then they would start the game, they would start the Ponzi. But almost all of the buy pressure's gone through the mints. So if you've raised 300, 400, 500k, and then you're running a game, where's the 400k is supposed to be going into the project? into the economy. So the way Blastem was designed, it was designed to be an economic masterclass. So where people the whole ecosystem is based on the economy. So instead of having NFTs and then tokens and then using stables to buy items and stuff, we have it so everything is based on the token. Even the trading, even the characters and the packs, they're going to be tradable using the in-game token. So there's not going to be any stables involved. It's just going to be an entire economy based on the bomb token. So we think that no matter how good your game is, um, if the economy is not good, like even when it comes to like big projects, like top 100 projects on CMC, like if your tokenomics are not good, if the vesting is not good enough, if the way the distribution is not good enough, like no matter how good your project, it's not going to work. So with Blaster, my main focus and what cost us a lot of time was running a lot of simulations to try and get the game as economically viable as possible and pleasing to the people who hello pleasing to the
Yeah,
people who are playing it. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, that's the general idea about Blast. And we also didn't want it to look like a boring idle game, so we spent a lot of time in using our arts and visuals to be able to build a brand around it, and
very
then
nice.
maybe scale into something bigger than what we have right now.
Okay. So, like, as you look at some of the other kinds, because we've all experienced that, right? Especially games like sometimes they'll take off and they'll get big, 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 and everyone piles in, and then eventually something gets top heavy, some part of the economy gets out of balance, and the whole thing collapses. We've seen it 100 times. What are some of the like kind of key issues that you've seen? Think like top two or three things that you needed to solve for here that caused those types of collapses in other economies.
Okay, so number one is a project like I know you've mentioned another project which was supposed to raise two million. I mean, when you want to raise that much amount, like all the buying pressure goes to the wallet of the founders instead of going into the chart where people are just basically, where it just helps build the economy. And then when you have all that buy pressure gone from the game, there's not much left because you've already hit the peak euphoria of the game. Like the attention of the game has already been hit before you've even launched. So the best way to do it is start with a low FDV. Like our token is a low FDV token. It's around 1.5 million, and most of the tokens are in game. There's not much team tokens, so it's basically small, not small liquidity, but less tokens in liquidity and a lot of tokens in the game contract. And it's just you need tokens to do anything inside the game. So you cannot just come get an NFT, buy it from a secondary marketplace, and then start playing and then start draining and draining.
Got
So
it.
that's top one issue is that people have big raises. The second issue is that the earnings in like other games, they're kind of linear, so you just keep on earning more as time goes on, and then at a certain point you don't have enough people to back up the sell pressure, so it just collapses and there's no way you can stop it
Yep.
unless you unless I mean a smart approach is having a season-based game. So you launch the first season, and then when you get to a point, you stop the first season and then think of better mechanics and like better patches and better upgrades where you can allow the game to go on for even longer, and then build a big base. And then once you've got a big base, you can basically implement a lot of things into the game.
Yeah, right on. So for that first problem with the teams taking the money in the treasury, is the concern that they take that money as just as profit or that they make bad decisions about how to invest it in the economy versus letting the economy run on its own?
It's not necessarily that the team would have bad intentions or like not know how to use it, but it's just like if you start from zero, if you sell an amount of tokens and then you start from the ground floor, and then instead of the money going to you, to the founder's treasury first, it goes through the system, and then you earn a fee on the volume where everyone's satisfied. The game economy is growing, the founders are making money as well, but at the same time they're not reducing all the buy pressure, not taking all the buy pressure. So it's more like you need to let the economy grow on its own instead of hit a certain point where you've got so much hype, but then you won't be able to sustain it because you've already taken the buy pressure from it.
I gotcha. So it's almost like slowing the intake in a sense, right? Like it's because obviously
Hmm.
the team still needs money to operate a business
Of
and
course, yeah,
build a game, but you're kind of slowing that funnel down so it comes in a little bit more controlled pace
yeah,
and probably forces you to be a little bit leaner and a little bit more careful with your decision making process too. So I could see some side benefits to that as well. Okay,
hmm.
that makes sense. And then, so I focused back in on the first point. I had a question on the second point, and I've lost it now. With your second issue, just refresh me again one time. What was the high level of the second
Um,
issue?
sorry, I've got bad memory.
I just so I
So
did it
the
to us both.
so
That's fine.
the
We'll have to move on
so the first issue is the team's
then.
raising,
Yep.
and
Oh, the
and
second was
this,
the linear, the just kind of
yeah, the
basically
second is the linear.
Ponzi issue of the games is that
Yeah,
they have to collapse at
the,
some point because it's not
yeah.
worth joining in at the end. So again, I guess like with that one, I mean that is the problem. Like, what is the solution to that? Like, what are you guys doing differently with Blastum that prevents it from being that just kind of linear
So
Ponzi
so
game
so
almost?
yeah. So with Blastem, we have a rarity-based system. So if you have a lower tier character, your earnings are not that much, are not that good. Although they do increase when you spend tokens on upgrades. So it's kind of a delayed process. So it's kind of like a delayed process. So if you have a common character, you have to open more packs using the tokens to try and get a legendary. And then once you get a legendary or a super legendary, it's more profitable than having a lot of commons. So a legendary is equal to multiple commons. So the way it is that you can join late, a person can join the game late, and if he has enough luck, you would get a super rare character, a legendary, a super legendary, and that would allow you to balance out and be able to get profitable not instantly but very quickly compared to some people who have been playing before you. So it's not a first in, so it's the model, instead of it being if you're first, it means you're making the most amount of money. It's more like you can be first, you can make good amount of money, but someone can join late, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month after you, and still be able to outperform you when it comes to earnings.
Gotcha. So you're not, yeah, no, I've seen that too. If you're early, you get the advantage, and then the latecomers can just never catch up. So I think fighting against that is important.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that was the reasoning behind it. How long have you guys been working on this?
The game itself, the mechanics, the design, that has been around 6 months. Like
6 months. Okay.
our initial commit on GitHub is 6 months. That's when the idea started.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, that's
And then we had
pretty
a
good timing,
sorry,
honestly.
yeah. And then we had a delay because we after the incident, we had to switch from off-chain, like from having off-chain game logic to having on-chain game logic, and that took us some time.
Sure.
But we've already completed that. We've passed it to we've paid for audits. We have got a report back, and we're just waiting for the official post.
Yeah, no, that stuff definitely all takes time. So let's talk at least a little bit about the incident here. Is that just tell us like where you were in the project because you guys did a pre-sale. You were kind of moving towards launch, and this
Hmm.
redirected you. So just high level, talk to us about what happened there. Like what were you guys? What were the steps you guys had taken, and then where did you hit the roadblock?
Okay, so we initially spoke to Abstract, and then we managed to get their support. Everything was going good, and then we got to a point where we had to start doing our token pre-sale, and then we had some disagreements about the token pre-sale, and we were told not to do the token pre-sale. So we then thought of a different way to do it, and an even better way. We thought instead of doing a token pre-sale, we would do a vintage pack sale, and then that would have people participate in the game, and it would have the same results as a token, but then people would have to participate in the game to get their ROI back.
Hmm.
And then we agreed with that. We thought it was a good idea. And then a few days later, we were just waiting for confirmation for them regarding the portal. And as time was going, I was telling them, we have to get to a point. We need to start our pre-sale. And then things went south from there. We got into disagreements. They removed the follow. We then started doing our pre-sale without that. Then people started like problems started rising. People were
Sure.
telling us, why don't we have the follow? Why did Abstract remove the follow? I then spoke to the rest of the Abstract team. I told them that it's hurting us that you removed the follow without even explaining. I proposed to explain to people and tell them that, look, we're not really backed by anyone. It's just we're backed by our own product. We had some disagreements, and then the Fin post, and then the infamous longest thread ever by Blastem, and then we got to this point.
Gotcha. So yeah, so that obviously created headaches for you guys and FUD around the project and uncertainty and everything like that. So in a trust game like what we're playing here, that's a pretty big hit for you guys in terms of getting a product to market. So like how did that impact the pre-sale? Was the pre-sale done at this point or was it in process? Like what happened to the actual, process of
It
that pre-sale
was
getting carried out?
it was around 40% done, I'd say. The pre-sale was like 40% sold. It was sold in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
It was sold like the first day.
No, it was selling out so quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm a founder as well. So in Big Pool, one of our collab managers that I brought on to help, he got a link from someone, and I think it was a good amount of spots, and most of the team didn't even have a chance before it sold out. So then I contacted your collab manager and got another allocation, which is a good size allocation, and that's when the stuff happened. And just to say how ethical and respectable and just doing things the right way your team is, because I know you're a collab manager, he's one of the best in the space. He deactivated the form immediately because you guys weren't sure what you were doing. So rather than have more people going in and more issues, so we still couldn't get the pre-sale. So I never even had a chance. But then I also checked projects that I'm a holder of, such as Monsters Fund, Bad Buns. I'm a holder in all those projects. They had to get multiples as well because everyone's first pre-sale link sold out immediately, and then some had 2 or 3 different pre-sale links with 50 spots that sold out immediately. So this was selling out quick no matter where it was because I was checking in different groups. It was very interesting. So go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So some of the like the first couple of pre-sales, like in some of the big communities like On-Chain, Heroes, and Rui, like they were selling out in seconds and they were exceeding the allocation. Like as soon as we dropped the link, it was sold out and people were like, did this even start selling yet? So we were at a point where we had like 40% sold. And then while it was selling, I was having the argument with the team, with the Abstract team about why did you remove the follow, why this, why that, and then boom, it dropped. The thread dropped, and then at that point, I was sleeping when it dropped, and then I was getting and then I had my 4G on, my internet on, and then that went off somehow, and then I wasn't getting any calls. And then I woke up, I checked my phone, and I had like 100 missed calls from my CM, my teammates, and they're like, "Look, this is what Finn dropped, blah blah." And then I just got up, I woke up, I started reading. I obviously got pissed off, but I just got even more pissed off and just started smashing the keyboard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I started smashing the keyboard to write the thread and just like, I mean, a lot of people were angry at me for posting screenshots of the chat, but I just need people. I hope people understand that in the position we were in, there was no way for us to defend ourselves without posting screenshots of what happened behind the scenes because no one would have believed us. So
Yeah, it's a tough
that was
spot
just
to
the
be
end
in.
result.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no doubt. It's a tough spot to be in, and I think could have been an easy point for you guys just to say fuck it and hang it up and move on or move to a different chain or restart or whatever. But that's not what you did. So, like from the point of finding out about it, you're upset. Obviously, the thing you've been working on is now, you know, not where you want it to be. How did you regroup the team, right? Because this is what I'm interested in. Is like as a founder, you're constantly running into stuff like this, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no easy path to launching a project, a game, any kind of project, and
No.
having success with it. Not in crypto, not in any industry, but the teams that succeed blow through these things, right? Like they get through this obstacle one way or the other. So step one is kind of regrouping your team. How did you guys do that? How did you guys kind of settle yourselves and get back to the point where you could do some work?
Yeah, so the moment we posted the thread, the one we did, we had to sit down and like think of our options because the moment we posted, we started receiving DMs from very big chains. But I was just thinking to myself, like I felt like it was a challenge towards us, like the way we were like described to the public. Like I just felt like it was a challenge, and it just like most of my team were disagreeing with me on staying on abstract. But I was telling them, look, we're gonna stay on abstract. We're gonna continue. We're gonna prove that all the allegations are fake. We're here to stay. We're here for the long term. We're not here to extract. We're not here to raise like we were being told, like we were being accused of. Like we're not here to just raise and go somewhere else. Like we need to stay on abstract and we need to show that you don't really need to have anyone's support. But if you have a really good product, you will be able to succeed. Like that's the whole mission. Like it's basically been the whole mission. It's been proving to everyone that you do not need anyone's support if you want to succeed. If you want to do it, you can do it. You don't have to wait for anyone to help you out.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it. And then obviously you got them on board, right? Because
Yep.
you persisted and you moved forward. So at the crux of the disagreement was that some of your logic was off chain and unverifiable, right? Like as I'm probably oversimplifying, but that's kind of like the gist of the issue, right?
So that was one of the issues that they said. Anyways, the thing was when we first spoke to them, they already knew about this. That's the problem. We already spoke about it. We already told them the pack opening was on chain, the withdrawals and deposits are on chain, but the game logic is not on chain. We had a first call and they all knew about this, and we had the follow when this happened. We everything was good. We were chatting in the chat, like they knew about the whole thing. As soon as the pre-sale started selling out really fast, that's when the follow was off. That's when
Mm-hmm.
everything started to go south, and that's why I didn't understand, because everything was good in chat. Why would you wait until the pre-sale to drop a statement like that? It was kind of weird, but
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
over
so
that,
I
and
didn't mean
it's
to send you back at the story. I'm sorry. So,
yeah,
so suffice to say, somebody must have gotten nervous, and then they changed other things. So that's the reason I was bringing that up was more so you saw that as something worth addressing, right? At the end of the day, because you said you went back and reworked it, right?
yeah,
So talk to us about the thinking there, right? Like if you thought it was the right way in the first place to do it off chain and on chain mixed, and now you've made the decision to change that. And
yeah.
I guess that's really where I was trying to take us is talk us through that. Like why why did you ultimately decide to make that change and how hard of a process was that for you?
So when it comes to like you said, although there's a lot of people who are on our side, there's still a lot of people who are skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
And in a trust game, you have to do everything necessary to allow people to trust you, for you to have a smooth launch. I mean, even if you do have a majority of people who are believers, you want everyone to be a believer. You want everyone to be on board for for an actual successful launch. You want everyone to be on board, and the on-chain thing was something that I believe would have caused us problems down the line, and we just thought, you know what, why not just switch everything on chain and then audit it and then allow people to see everything for themselves, instead of us just promising and saying things and keeping it like in a trust me bro type of environment. So now there's no
Trust me,
trust
bro's
me
tough in
bro.
this
This
business.
yeah, so now there's no more trust me bro. It's basically trust the code, and you'd be able to see whatever you want to see. Like everything is public, you can check everything. You can check the smart contracts, you can check the game logic which is inside the contract, and you can know whatever's happening is happening. And then
Very nice.
and then after all this happens, it just comes down to you if you want to participate on or not. So
Yeah.
it's just been there wasn't really that much thinking going into the on-chain thing, but it just felt like it had to be done.
All right. So that's either done or almost done now, and you guys are headed back towards the launch. So
Yep.
give us an update on where you're at. What are the steps remaining? What can we expect next? And if you could, you started getting a little quiet again. I don't know if you got further away from the mic.
Oh,
So
no,
if
no,
you
I'm here.
can,
I'm just waiting for you. Yeah,
so
mm, so at the moment, I received the report this morning from the auditing firm. I haven't revealed who they are yet, but they're Sub7 Security. They're the same auditing partners as Poly Price. You probably know that. They use the same auditing firm. That's Poly Price, and I was speaking to Theo, who's the founder of Poly, and he managed to introduce me to Sub7, and that's when we got our audit. So once we post the report, once it's public, we will go through a testing campaign, which EGR is going to help us with. And once the testing campaign and testing slash marketing campaign for the launch happens, we're going to launch.
all right, very nice. I like give
Yeah,
you a rough out of timeline there. Go ahead, EGR.
I know. I just wanted to say we've been speaking all week, and I really like him. And I'm in Discord and different channels. And I'm getting messages. Everyone's like, I really like him. Like everyone really likes you, and like that's what I've been expressing too. And it's not just about being liked in the space. It's about how you build, how transparent you are, the way you handle things, and I was talking to you and you said we wanted to do a play test. We just didn't know, how many KOLs or big names we can get right now, whatever. And I said, don't worry about that. You have a lot of support because I think I'm going to say it again, you used the FUD as fuel and you kept building and you did the right thing. And there are people in this space that are genuine. I always say this, I believe in this win together meta. So if there's a good product out there, right? Because there's so many bad products out there, the people that really build need to stick together. So once you said, I'm not sure if people, would participate in the playtest, I said, I have the network to do it. Let's get it done. And immediately people were very interested about it because if you speak to some of the best devs in the space, they always recommend a play test. They always recommend
Yeah.
an audit. So you're not skipping any steps, and you have so much support to the fact where when I'm muted and you guys are talking, I'm actually looking at the support in the different Discord channels I'm in. So I just want you to use that as fuel to push through the finish line. No, not the finish line. Let me correct that because I always say this. When a project mints out, if you're a team that thinks that's the finish line, I think
It's
you
over
suck.
for you.
That
You
is the
suck,
starting
bro.
line. That is the gun going off. That's when you need to deliver. Okay, the mint out is never the finish line because
Yep.
we see what happens to floors when that happens. But these gaming projects that actually launch and then have something valuable to play with and keep updating and keep working, we see Gigaverse doing phenomenal. We see OCH doing phenomenal. These are the teams that are really kicking ass in the space, and they're learning how to generate revenue in different ways without extracting more from holders. So with the videos I've seen, everyone is so excited about this, and I have a huge network because I've been in the space for a long, long time. So we'll get you plenty of excellent testers that can provide feedback from devs to founders to artists to big KOLs. I'm going to get you a monster list. You just let me know when you want to get it set up. I've actually been sending the list to people while we're on here talking.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you, EGR. Also about the finish line thing, like we don't consider the pre-sale as a finish line. Like it's actually the starting point because that's when the economy goes into full effect, and that's when we get the, I'm not going to promise up only obviously, but that's when we get to show like what we have been working on economy wise, because at the end of the day everyone here wants to make money, and if you provide a good way for people to make money, then you're going to make money as well. And then it's just going to be a happy, happy relationship between you and all the members and all the people who are playing.
Right on. So why don't we talk a little bit about the gameplay? We barely just alluded to it a little bit, but walk us through like what actually is the game, what's the mechanics, how do people kind of get involved?
Okay, so first of all, to join the game, you connect your wallet. I'm just gonna go through the steps like like it's a tutorial. You connect your wallet, you go to the shop section. If you've bought a pre-sale, you'll be able to open your vintage packs. That's when you're gonna get different characters with different rarities, different stats. You have the Blastmaster section where you can check on your characters, where you can upgrade them, where you can enhance different stats, and it depends on what you want to enhance to get the best results. Then you have the apartment section. Is apartments are add-ons which you can purchase using tokens. These increase your yield as an end result, but the reality is that they reduce the stamina regen time. So basically, if you reduce the stamina regen time, it means you're increasing the yield. So apartments are add-ons that you will use for that. And then once you have everything set, you go to a map. You go to the map, and then you would be able to place your characters on top of the map, and then explode chests and earn rewards.
And each of the like each time you mint a character or whatever the term is,
Hmm.
that's where like the randomness happens, right? Like they've got,
Yep.
would it be helpful if I pull up the pitch deck,
Let me.
because I do have it on screen if that's the right thing to walk through here. Oh yeah, is that what you gave me in the chat here?
Yeah, yeah, that's the one.
All right. So this guy right here, right?
Yep.
All right. So part level. I know you had like some screenshots. There you go. This was the one I was just thinking of when you were
Yep.
describing it. So talk us through this.
Okay. So as you can see, it's the same as I just described. So you spend the bomb token. What this does is it increases the buy pressure. So the more people who are buying packs, the more bomb is being spent, and then the bomb is being burnt. So instead of the bomb going, so we do get a fee. It's a 10% fee on the volume, and that's how we generate revenue uh, throughout the time. So you buy bomb from a secondary, any liquidator provider, Uniswap, whatever it is. You buy Bomb, and then you buy a Blastmaster pack. It could either contain 10 characters or 5 characters. Every character has different rarities. Sorry, has the different rarity chances. So you've got common, rare, epic, legendary, and super legendary. The whole point is the whole point is for you to get better characters so you can increase your yield, and that's how it happens. And also there's another luck factor, which is skills. Some characters have skills where they can go through obstacles and then just destroy chests instead of spending the bomb. Wait, go back, I've got a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. So there are different stats. You have power, speed, stamina, bomb count, and bomb range. Your bomb count and the chest HP is what determines how much bomb you're going to be earning in the particular session. If you manage to get a character who has extra speed or extra bomb count or extra bomb range, it means you're going to be destroying more obstacles and earning more tokens. And it all depends on luck. And so it's an idle game, it depends on luck, and it has very good visuals. That's the whole point of the game. And certain characters have abilities where they can go through obstacles and not waste the bomb count on the obstacles and destroy chests instead. So what that does is it just increases your yield. Like if you know, like most games, the whole end result is yield. So this is just a more simplified version of getting to the end result, is by opening packs, getting a certain character with different rarities, different yield, different this, different that, and then that in return gives you different yield, different returns.
Nice. It definitely sounds interesting. Sounds like my kind of game. Because I like to play games. I like the chance aspect of it. I like when there's a little bit of chance and a little bit of skill, but I don't have to spend a ton of time on it. It sounds like you got some of that going on here. So this
Yep.
is this is definitely interesting.
And we know, sorry, and we know that most people in Web3, like if I'm being real, when anyone here wants to play a game, you'd probably open Steam and launch CS:GO or something, or Call of Duty or something. When you're in crypto, you're in it because you want to earn tokens. You're not there to play. Like this is just the reality of it. Like a lot of projects would sugarcoat their product and make it seem like they have the best game, they have the best that, but that's not true. You're offering a product where people can yield and earn tokens, but you need to do it in a way where the economy is sustainable for a long enough time, where you can introduce a season two and be able to attract even more players to the game.
Yep. Right on. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true. I certainly want the game to be enjoyable, but if there was no earning potential to it whatsoever, yeah, I would be significantly less interested, if not completely so. So I think you're right to call that out, right? Like we could all admit that we like money around here, but I enjoy the fun gaming loops, the kind of interesting experiments, the different approaches to it. That's what interests me about all this for sure.
Yep.
Very nice. All right, what else is in here? What else do you want to touch on here? I know we got a few minutes left. We don't want to keep
Yeah,
it too
I
long.
think some people are confused about, you know, when you say like everything's going to happen inside the game, right? You're not purchasing an NFT. It's not like
No.
that. Some people are asking me what the contract address for Bomb is. I mean, I don't even think that's a valid question right now, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I mean, we haven't
so the only,
launched it yet.
yeah, I know. So, but I'm saying like, so, the process, everything happens inside the game, right? So
Yeah.
right now it's just you're whitelisted to be able to you know be able to sign up for the game, buy the packs inside the game.
Hmm.
There is a certain amount of RNG to that, and then you're playing inside the game, and there'll
Yep.
be seasons just like OCH, but your version of the game. My question to you is, what makes this game special in terms of gameplay? What are some of the features you like most about it, and then also what inspired you to build this specific type of game, and does it compare to anything else you've played before? Is it completely new? Those are the things I'm interested in,
Yeah.
and maybe
So
other people would be too.
so the game concept, the game itself, is inspired from an existing crypto game which went viral in 2021, and that was called Bomb Crypto. I'm pretty sure some of the people asking have probably played it before, and that was one of the reasons. It was one of the reasons why we managed to get a lot of hype from Asian communities who have played the game before. And the game was big because of the economy and not because of the gameplay. I mean, although the gameplay looks good and the way the characters move is just smooth, the bombs exploding, it's kind of like dopamine inducing for people, and it's like you're eager to get a legendary. Like whatever you're earning in the game, you're trying to spend that on more packs to get a super legendary, because once you get a super legendary, you've unlocked the final level. You've unlocked the final level of yield, and that's when you're going to be earning just as much as like most people are earning at that point.
All right, so yeah, I think it's a super interesting concept. Um, Glad you guys are sticking out with the abstract chain. Interested to see how this launch goes and everything. If you obviously not holding you anything, and it's tough to say, but like, are you thinking you're like weeks away, months away? Like, how far out do you think you before you could reasonably have something live for people to play with?
I'd say 2 weeks is our ETA.
Oh, very
Two
nice.
weeks is our ETA. 2 weeks
This
or
is for a
probably
play
less.
test or for the
No,
wild?
for the game launch itself.
Oh, very nice. So play tests
Yeah,
happen in between now and then.
yeah.
Audit wrapping up between now and then.
Hmm.
You think we can get the game launch going by Monday? I mean, the playtest.
Monday.
Sorry.
The playtest, yes, not the actual game launch.
No, I know. I said in
Yeah.
reverse. I do that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, we can.
All right, cool.
I will drop you a way to test the demo, not the actual game, but the demo, the one you see in the videos, for you to check out, and you know,
Yep.
and then once we have the audit, but because once we get the audit report back, we're gonna have to link that to the game. That's gonna take us like a day or two, because there have been some changes inside the contract, like the initial contract. Once we get that,
Hmm.
we're gonna be able to we're gonna be able to have the play test running.
All right. No,
So
this is good.
I think the best situation that could happen is that this is extremely successful. because we've had a lull in the market the past 2 weeks, and then we just thought we were going to World War III, which is so, high alert. But now it seems like things are pumping again. And honestly, the space needs something to really do well. And I think a lot of people are looking at this to be that. Not pressure on you. I'm just saying that's actually a good place to be in. You know,
Yep.
I'm the
Yep.
type of person, when I know that I'm developing something hot and I'm very excited to launch it, I have complete confidence. I don't care what the market conditions are, especially if it's coming from a lull. It's an attention economy, right? So right now, what really has the attention besides Gigaverse, OCH, Monsters Fund launched a little bit of something today. So you have a really good opportunity to come in within this next 2 weeks with this game where
Sorry,
other people per se.
I cut out
What?
for the last 30 seconds. Can you please repeat it?
I'm
Just
saying
before
I
the
think you're in a
monsters part.
really good position right now because there's been a lull with people looking for something new, and this is an
Hmm.
attention economy. So right now, I think with your scheduled launch, there's been some things failing, but when things fail, it's mostly because of the teams. They don't put in the time like you have, and they didn't do the work, and they just try to launch something with big KOLs and stuff like that. And it's actually good because if you were discouraged of using KOLs, it probably helped you in the long run because you're going to get plenty of great people beta testing it, right? And I think that this is the project that people really need to have on their radar. And I think most people that listen to this show, we don't bring people onto shill projects. We genuinely look for people that are building in the space that are interesting. Uh, we look for certain types of people. We don't bring on anyone just to show their product ever. Like, it's not something we do. We don't have sponsors, nothing like that. We never have, we never will. It's what we're interested in, what other people are interested in. And I know there's a really high demand for this because we've had other game people on before, and I haven't had anywhere nearly the amount of questions that I've had in Discord while it was going on. So, once again, this is a good position, and you're in a good position right now, and I'm happy for you because you're a good
Yep.
guy. You have a good team. Sometimes the things in life and in work that make or break us end up being the best, and you showed the entire Web3 community that in terms of fight or flight, you're all fucking fight, which is
Yeah,
great because people are going to back you because of that. So I'm really excited for this.
yeah, I
I'm,
agree
v-
with
I'm,
that sentiment completely. I think people are going to look at this as a kind of like an underdog story now. After you got beat up a little bit there, you stuck it out, went got the audits done, changed it to be on chain, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I think that's a good story, and I think that's one that definitely people can get behind.
yep. I mean, for me, it's kind of personal. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm very confident in the economy we've built, revolving our token and the entire game. Like, I know how good it's gonna perform, whether there's a lot of buy pressure or if there's not. Like, I do have strong belief that the economy is gonna do well, and that's gonna have a lot of people wanting to join, whether they're late or early. Like, just similar to like the other games we have right now. Like, even though you're late, you can still join and you can still do well. Like, we want Blastem to be the same or even better. So once that whole incident happened, I just took it personal. Like, I, I think of it all the time. Like, I'm eating and I'm thinking about abstract and how to prove all the haters wrong. Like, it's literally what it's literally my entire personality at the moment. It's just like proving whoever doubt. Like, because one thing I didn't like is like a lot of people were supporting us, and then they were really quick to jump to conclusions without even listening to our version of the story. And that just made me so mad, and it made it such a personal issue for me that I was doing everything necessary to make this work. Like, I'm doing 10 times more effort on Blastem than I was doing initially when we first started.
Like, you're
Yeah,
drinking 2 cases of Red Bull, or maybe
A lot of
wrecked
coffee,
wrecked
a
wrecked
lot of
energy
energy
coffee.
drink,
drink.
coffee. You doubled up on your wrecked energy drink every day. I just want to plug OSF because he's been kicking ass, and anyone that can tokenize an energy drink, which I was skeptical at first, I do give him
Definitely a
huge
G.
props. But you ever see the movie Rocky? Right now, you're
Yeah,
Rocky, so
yeah.
that's amazing. Like, nobody doesn't want to
Drinking
be
raw
not
eggs then.
Rocky in the story.
Everyone
So
wants to be a Rocky. Everyone wants to be a Rocky. I mean,
yeah,
like our dream. Like, I'm not gonna say our dream. I'm making it look like a movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing the day where the token's doing good, and I can sit back and say, aha, I told you so. Like, I'm working for that
Yep.
actively every
Eat that,
single day.
motherfuckers.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a powerful driver, though, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, yeah, it could end up being a nice gift at the end of the day, in terms of how things work out. You know, it's not the way you design them usually, but you take the bumps, you adjust, you do what you got to do, and the people who do that end up being the winners. So, no, I think this is a great story. Obviously, we're pulling for
I
you.
want to ask one more really important question.
Hmm.
So say this takes off, right? And
Yep.
it's huge, and you make a great deal of money, right? And we don't do everything in life for money, right? But what I want to say is you're passionate about building this and sticking with it, right? Because a lot of times people make it and then they get lazier. And I think just what you've shown so far is you're motivated, but we need people in this space that aren't going to make a bunch of money and then kind of disappear, go MIA, like they really see it through and follow the project. So like, you know, you're thinking ahead already in terms of building. What is your aspect on that? Or are you going to
So
end up in Bali with the NanoPass team?
no, no, no. So one thing that's not inside our documents is that we do have two other game modes. So season one is going to be a chest farm where it's completely PvE. Season two is going to include the boss mode and the PvP, and that's when the sustainability kicks in, where there's more risk to earn. It's even more sustainable because some players are losing money, some people are winning money, and that allows it to go from an inflationary based model where people are just earning to a model where some people are losing, some people are winning. So so we first need to get past season one, and then once we get there, we're going to be launching season two, which is going to have PvP and the boss raid.
So there's a roadmap behind the scenes. Love it. So I'm gonna force us to a close because I know you both have someplace to be in about 2 minutes. But I want to say thank you very much to Aladdin for coming to spend time with us, sharing about your journey, your story here, and yeah, best of luck to you. Obviously, we're gonna be in touch with the playtest and everything else coming up, so you got our support. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that came and hang out with us today. Check us out usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. live here on X, and we'll be back again soon.
Yeah, and let's do you know, keep in touch with the. I'm getting more and more people for the very good people, by the way, for the play test.
Mhm.
But let's also talk about doing something, maybe a Q&A after the playtest or a launch party, so we could really get this hyped up and
Yep,
launch it right. All right.
There you go.
correct.
Yep. Sounds
Yep.
good, buddy. Get back to work.
Thank you very
All
much,
right.
and thank you for thank you for the opportunity. I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you.
All
We
right. Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
you, man.
Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Thank you
Thank you very
all.
much.
See ya.
All right.